What is up, everybody? Daniela Bolzman here from Mindful Goods, and I am so excited to bring another case study, this time with Matt Parmelli, the seasoned e-commerce pro behind the Korean skincare brand JIYU. We're gonna take you behind the scenes to show you exactly how Matt was able to use TikTok creators to drive traffic to his optimized listings that we created here at Mindful Goods. On the left-hand side here, you can see exactly what JIYU started with their product images. Matt himself says that these were placeholders at best. And on the right-hand side, you can see the premium A+ content and optimized product images that we landed on for JIYU. Join us in this candid conversation as we do a deep dive into working on this project together with Matt. Let's go.
What made you decide to sell on Amazon?
Experience. The authentic answer is between myself and the two other founders, like two very successful Amazon brands are a collection of, and they've seen the power of it when you can make it work. We know that traffic from off Amazon is typically rewarded on Amazon. Like that could change at any point, but it's been that way for a few years. So we figure, okay, if we take this TikTok engine and we can figure it out, we can bring folks from TikTok to Amazon. Amazon might reward us for that. And then maybe that ends the engine at some point, but we've been rewarded in such that there's a staying power in that. Time will tell, but that's sort of the bet there. I think they would agree that they like that too, because at the end of the day, we're bringing people to spend money on their platform, right?
So over 600% increase in orders. Matt, speak to those results, but also in tandem with your strategy of driving traffic at the same time. I think it's really interesting.
We created a product that is 3 times the price of everyone else on the market. It was a bet that the urgency of I saw this on TikTok, let me go find it on Amazon with volume of creators would work. And I think that's what you're seeing with the traffic there is just like the creators brought that in. And what an action to do. I've said this to the team, like they have to leave TikTok, open Amazon, and then type it in. I come from a direct to consumer background where we send everyone through a funnel. We want them to stay on the page. Every second counts. It's worth money. Add to cart, it's worth money. But to then say, screw all that, end your entertainment on TikTok, open up Amazon, type it in, add to cart, and buy is a lot to ask typically when you're paying for traffic. I think we're seeing the trinity of that, the place in the market, the messaging with the creators. And then when they get there, I think that's worth something. The thing about TikTok, even if you feel like you need to go buy it, if you get one red flag, right? Like bad reviews or like, oh, this is a TikTok brand, you're not buying it. Right. And so I think it has to land. It's kind of like the landing page or the design has to feel as if you're not just buying some junk from Temu. And I think that we navigated that well with working with you guys.
Why was it so important for you to invest in content up front as opposed to figuring that out later?
Yeah, I think from my background in direct to consumer, you can catch them with the ad, but that's only 25, 50% of it. They have to then feel as if what they're about to do, which is take out their credit card, Apple Pay, whatever, and then give you the money they worked for. It has to feel seamless and that the brand is real, the product's not junk. And it does matter having some of those aesthetics. My biggest fear is we're going to drive all this traffic and no one's going to buy because it's just like, look at this thrown together thing. Because the packaging looks good, but if I want to buy bungee cords for my garage, I don't care, right? Maybe it's like, do they break? Great, I'm going straight to the reviews. But if I'm going to buy a coat on Amazon, like I'm going to do a little bit more research, right? And same, especially skincare. Same thing. So I think we just assumed, and this is another bet, I guess, but like we just assumed that it looks like a higher end brand, especially if we're going to charge a higher price than what they can find when they scroll down and they say customers also bought and it's half the price. And so that was part of why we cared. What we had previously was not great for the listing images, in my opinion. They were just like something to get up. But then also to get that A+ premium, I tried to focus on what you guys were putting out, not just what it looks like, but what it's saying. We delivered on some of the messaging we're trying to make. There's a couple core concepts which you guys have here is like, we're a little bit different and here's why. Here are the core ingredients that are going to create positive change. On top of that, some of the things you have to have with Amazon, which is like how to use it and the 2 different types of ways to use it, which you have here in the last one.
I know for me, as we were doing this, I was seeing you guys marketing to me on TikTok. I know that was really cool because not a lot of brands are figuring that stuff out.
We're not running ads, but we are spending a lot of money on creators that are creating organic content. It's not organic at all. They're being paid. So it's organic in the sense of how it's uploaded and put out. We're just working with a handful of different creators in this underground group setting that is not that special. When I first learned about it, it was unique to me. And then I realized it's just what everyone's doing. They pump out a certain amount of content per month that we pay them for, and then we provide them the tools and resources like you would with a vendor, like a brief, right, or something of that nature. But then they iterate on it, and then the ones that are successful, do more than that's asked from them because they're also incentivized to do so from just like the affiliate platform is the magic that TikTok Shop is for brands on TikTok. So what you're seeing is that. And so as we start, we have some success and maybe work with 30 creators in the beginning, and then eventually it grows from there. Some don't have success, but the ones that do have success want to stay. So we keep adding to that pool. You could look at it like ads. You keep running them until they go, and you iterate them and try to make them last longer, sort of in a more traditional, maybe 10 years, 5 years ago type perspective with paid media. You keep working with the same creators, they keep iterating, and then they last for a while and they become bigger for your brand and big pieces of that. The messaging, which is interesting, we realized on Amazon, you guys look at so much keyword data, it seems, we can rank in the toner pad vertical on Amazon, and that's worth a certain amount of dollars depending on how much you rank with various different keywords. But what's even more rich is if we can try to rank on hyperpigmentation or dark spots or dark spot remover. Each of those ladders are worth a lot, right? So if you can rank in multiple areas, they all sort of help each other in terms of overall organic that you can obtain from Amazon. But then on top of that, we can do PPC and all those things. Each one of those is worth millions of dollars.
It speaks to problem solution and what people are searching for in TikTok.
After the first month or month and a half, we're like, can we stop saying toner pads? Let's just start saying like dark spot remover or whatever, or wrinkle or whatever. And it's funny, if you type in on Amazon JIYU, the first thing that comes up is not even toner pads anymore. It's like anti-wrinkle or something. And then if I go pull the data of the organic search that we're seeing, that's week over week ranking more and more. So it's just interesting to see how you can truly galvanize the Amazon system. So if you're winning in toner pads, but you want to climb the rank of something else, you could kind of do it.
When we first started working together, where were you at with the creators at that time?
Just the very beginning, like first month. So yeah, they found some success. It wasn't going crazy, but we were just trying to get our first few sales in. I think it was right around, they had started working with us maybe for 2 or 3 weeks before we got the first stuff back from you put on Amazon. And they even asked us, a couple of the better ones were like, hey, you guys could do better with your stuff. And I'm like, I promise it's coming, here to sneak peek. And they were like, oh, this is great. And I'm like, yeah, I know, just give me the week. Really, it was like a cause of need of just like, all right, we have this listing, we got it up, we started working with the creators, we started seeing a little bit of success. Once you saw a little bit of success, was it worth investing in? Yes, because we didn't really have anywhere else to turn. You guys fill a good hole in the market, which is like, we want to have a solid listing with data and good creative. The problem is when you go to find that, I basically would have to go to, maybe it's Upwork, maybe it's a designer I know from a different brand or someone I've worked with, but you don't bring in both. You guys market that really well. We're like, hey, we can help your Amazon make Amazon specific creative. And it's like, oh, that's great. Because Amazon specific creative in my head means really shitty creative, right? It's like, it's not good. It's like the way that I would try to start up a brand. It's like, well, what can I make in Canva, or who can I get for, $100 for this project? Obviously you guys don't charge that too. So I think to go back to how we were able to do this, we just had a little bit of funding at the beginning to be able to afford paying you guys, getting the stock, a better box, those types of things.
During the process and working with us, what was that experience like for you?
I think it was helpful. That was our problem too. We didn't have all this built out. I couldn't just hand you our USP. I was sort of creating it as we go, which a lot of brands have to do when we start. But I was doing it at the same time you were asking for it. And then I could provide some context with the loom. Hey, here's the brand we like. Here's what we're seeing. And so what your CD did is she wanted to get on a call with me and we talked. And the ask and the receive and the turnaround all took a week. So it was seamless versus usually I think that can take 3 weeks.
What's the next iteration of JIYU?
Product market fit was the biggest thing. So I think building out the brand's important. We want to release a couple more products. At the end of the day, we just want to make a really quality product. Even the box is from Korea. If you look at the product label, it'll say, Orlando, Florida. But literally every single piece of the thing is made in Korea. But no, I'm not Korean. We aren't Korean. Like, you know what I mean? So I get it. But I think we just need to figure out what the branding needs to be. And I think being authentic about that is fine. We just want to make a high-end quality product in the Korean lens from Korea, every piece.